Are you ready or curious about hiring a team to help you manage your content marketing? Since I've run a content marketing agency for a few years now, I've pretty much hired and trained every marketing position imaginable at some point. So in this video, I'm walking you through how to hire and train your content dream team. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Haley Dale and I'm a content strategist helping you create more purposeful, productive, and yes, profitable content. So if that sounds like something that you're looking for, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below this video for new value-packed videos every single Monday. So I want to start by talking about why it's hard to hire, because I have been there too, where it feels like it would be more time efficient for me to do something rather than bringing someone on and taking the time to find them, to hire them, and then to train them to do things the way I want them done. And so sometimes it feels like, why would I just continue to do this myself? But what I realized is the more time that adds up, right? The more that I'm doing all of those things, the more that I'm saying that, and the more tasks, that leaves very little time to grow and scale my business. And so hiring became an essential piece of how I brought my business to the next level. But it can also be a little scary making that time investment in hiring someone if you feel like they could potentially not work out, right? Like, what if they're not able to do the tasks, or what if they decide it's not for them, and then you've wasted all of that time. So I want to share some of the tips that I have about how to hire, how to train, and how to retain your content dream team. So there are plenty of positions that you can hire for, but I'm going to focus on three main ones that are really kind of like the first ones that I think you should hire for when you're just starting to build out that content and marketing team. And some of them have double purposes for other areas of your business. First up is your virtual assistant. So your VA is probably going to be one of the first people that you hire in your business, because there is a lot of really time-consuming tech stuff that you do that you don't necessarily need to do if you have proper documentation and proper systems laid out. Or if you're not 100% sure how to do this stuff, they can come up with that documentation themselves. So maybe you don't even want to learn how to do it, how to put up a blog post. So a virtual assistant can help you with things like scheduling blog posts, scheduling social media, formatting and scheduling newsletters, doing a bit of customer service in your inbox, setting up new freebies, doing a bit of community management in your Facebook group or on your Instagram, managing and scheduling out your Pinterest. When you're hiring a VA though, what I want you to consider is how comfortable you are with the things that you want them to do. So is this something that you're going to be able to teach them how to do, or is it something that you're not super familiar with, so they need to come in with those skills already? If it is something that you're really comfortable teaching on, if you've been doing it yourself and you're like, I just want to start bringing someone on so I can start delegating and outsourcing this stuff, you can start with somebody who's maybe a bit more junior, and then you can take the time to document your processes. So I have some tips here in another video I did on how to document your content workflows. I'm going to post it here, so you can go check it out. Now, what I want you to do here is I want you to think about, if it's something that you're not familiar with at all, you're probably going to have to go with somebody with a bit more experience and have them. Biggest tip here is when you bring them in, if you're not familiar with it, have them document the process in a system that you can keep. That way, if they don't work out or if they move on, you have the systems documented to hand off to the next person. So that can be a really valuable asset in your business, is having your workflows documented out. So the next position that I think you're ready to hire for next would be the designer. So another piece is design is one of those things where, you're either good at it or you're not, or you kind of fumble your way through. You have some templates, so you can just kind of do some simple things. But a designer can be a really great team member for you, because not only are they going to be able to do the more tedious thing like your social media images and your blog post bundles, but they're also going to be able to help you with launches and promo graphics and freebie designs, that sort of thing. So when you find yourself creating a lot of these items in your business, that's going to be when you're ready to hire a designer. And the good thing about a designer is you don't need a ton of hours with one either. Really think about what you actually need and only bring them on for the number of hours that you need in your business. And it's also really important when you, even though I have a background in design, I found it was really beneficial for my business to find a quality designer. But a big consideration to have when hiring is, what is their style versus your style? Are they somebody who can adapt to different styles and take them on? Or are they someone who every time you see their work, you can tell it's from them, right? They have the essence. So figure out whether that matches with yours. And one of my favorite things to do is have people take a paid test assignment. I think that can be a really valuable way to go about it so that you know whether it's a fit or not. And then the third position is the copywriter. So most online businesses require a huge amount of copy, from social media copy to blog posts to sales pages to emails, all the things, right? All of the emails. So having a copywriter to share the load with you will probably be one of the things that you're going to value the most. This can be a tricky position to hire for because you do need somebody who can get your voice. This is not somebody who you can hire, somebody who really doesn't know what they're doing, unless you feel really comfortable with training somebody up in your voice. So those are some of the things you can get them to help with: press releases, web copy, promo copy. But when you're hiring a copywriter, I think it's important that most people can write, but not most people can write well. So like with the designer, I always recommend doing a test assignment, hiring a few people, and then having them duke it out in a paid test assignment. Behind the scenes, I want to give you a little behind the scenes in how my business works. So I try my best to stay in my CEO role and stop doing things in my business besides doing client strategy, which I love, and then my team helps me execute. So number one is I have an online business manager who's also our team manager to manage the team. I realized that I didn't really love managing a team the more my agency grew and the more people that I brought on. I wasn't necessarily skilled at managing the day-to-day of the team. I find that I like to have my head down in projects and working on things. And so having somebody who can manage the team and give them their assignments, check in on due dates, has been such a lifesaver for me. We also have a client coordinator who works more on the agency stuff, so that's not super relevant to the content creation stuff, but she has taken so much off my plate, and I'm training her on so much strategy stuff so she can also do more of the quality control with the team on the agency stuff. But in terms of our content team, we have a couple of different copywriters because we have such a heavy copy load, both for our own stuff and the clients that we work with. We have a designer, and then we also have a couple of VAs. Right now there's one VA sharing both positions, but we're going to get another VA to separate those two because it's quite a bit of work for them. So we have a tech VA, somebody who does more of like the funnel buildings on the agency stuff, scheduling our content, doing Pinterest. She's amazing at Pinterest. And then we have a customer service VA usually who's answering customer service requests in the inbox, managing the Facebook group, because the last thing I want to do is stay in my inbox all day. I would have a recipe to get nothing done. I'm easily distracted. So I want to talk about how to hire. So posting the job. Number one, I want you to come up with your job posting, and the things to consider is number one, experience. How much experience do you need them to have? Number two, location. Do you need them to be local or can they be remote? Are you interested in working with someone overseas to cut costs? Number three, responsibilities. So I like to brainstorm all of the things that I'm going to have them do after I've brainstormed all of the tasks that I want to outsource. So then I group them together and think, what type of position does this fall under? Number four is qualities. So what are the values? What are the values and characteristics? What are the must-haves for them in terms of personality and fit and values? So if you work on deadlines, as we do, we need to hire people who can meet deadlines and have strong time management skills. Number six is application method. So this is a tricky one here. I like to be really specific with how I want them to apply for the job, because that can be a good test of whether they can follow directions or not. Like if I tell them to submit via the tool we use and they come and hunt me down on Instagram, I'm paying attention to them, but for all the wrong reasons. Next up is interviewing. So once you start getting some applications in, you want to shortlist them. I like to create kind of a scoring grid. So I put all the applications that I get, the shortlisted applications, into a spreadsheet, and I grade them on like experience, relevance of experience, skills. And then from that, I'm able to start interviewing people with the people who had the highest score and then work my way down. Then I like to have them after the interview. If they're a good fit, I like to reach out to them to do usually a test assignment depending on the position and the number of applicants I have. I usually have 2 to 3 people taking the test assignment so that I can whittle it down. Then once they get the test assignment back and I pay them for it, I like to move on to offering the job. So finally we move on to hiring and onboarding someone. If they're interested in the job, your next step is a contract. Always have a contract for even your contractors and team that you put into place. It just protects you and it protects them. So a contract lays out the agreement of anything from rate of compensation to start date and responsibilities for both of you and the new hire. It's how to hire training. So the final step in hiring a new staff member is training. So there are a bunch of different ways to train. So again, that goes back to how familiar are you with the thing that you're having them do. So do you already have documentation in place, or do you need them to create documentation for you while they're learning this new role? So before I bombard any new hire with all of the different things we have going on in the business, I try to keep just to one category of assignments. So think about the thing that is going to save you the most time and free you up the most. So I hope that this behind the scenes look at my team as well as my hiring process has been helpful. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments of this video, or if you want more videos, more behind the scenes videos like this, let me know. Otherwise, subscribe, watch the next video on your screen, and I will see you back here Monday.